Yo, where are the Girl Scouts? Like, my mom had me out here on the streets, knocking on strangers' doors and harassing people in grocery stores. And now I feel like I've got to go on a quest just to find a do-si-do. Like, what's a girl got to do to get a Samoa? I mean, damn.
Hello everyone, this is Emmanuel Cook. We will be reacting to a new video today, so make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe down below, and let's get into the video.
Nobody wants to work anymore. People always kind of say it like they're starting a fight. But it's like, I agree with you, dude. You're right. Nobody wants to work anymore. And that is because work blows.
Do you know what phrase confuses me? The phrase, nobody wants to work anymore. First off, duh. I don't want to work. You don't want to work. Nobody wants to work. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm a teacher and I love my job. Do you know what I love more than my job? Staying home, sleeping, hanging out with my wife and my dog, playing video games. And I would love to be able to do all of that without having a job, but that's not going to happen. Now, these people who are saying nobody wants to work anymore are the same people who are going out and buying lottery tickets. Why? Because they don't want to work. We would all love to get money without having to put in any work for it. Because isn't that the true American dream? So when people say nobody wants to work anymore, they're not wrong. Nobody does want to work anymore. But what you're really saying is nobody wants to work for pennies.
Nobody wants to work anymore. Nobody's willing to work hard anymore. No, we're not going to do that. We're not going to say this anymore. First and foremost, the elephant in the room. Does anybody ever want to work? Has anybody ever wanted to work? No. Even if you absolutely love your job, I'm sure there are so many things that you would rather be doing. You're telling me the generations before us wanted to go to their job for 15 hours a day and let their soul be sucked out by corporate bullshit? No. So let's just put that aside for a second. What I hear when I hear older generations say people don't want to work anymore and people don't want to work hard anymore, all I hear is that you're annoyed that the younger generations are no longer willing to take people's bullshit. Y'all hired us to work from 7 to 3, 8 to 4, 9 to 5, whatever. And you're mad that people don't want to regularly be working way outside of those hours. You're mad that the younger generations have the guts to do what you probably wish you could have. Because let's face it, we all know that y'all hated working the extra 1, 2, 3 hours a day just to get the boss's attention. So you're mad that the younger generations have finally said, enough. You're not going to treat us like shit. We're going to have work-life balance. Because it's also been proven time and time again that when employees have proper work-life balance, they are more productive. Because spoiler alert, working 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. every single day is going to cause burnout. When people don't have time to do things outside of work, to exercise, to make healthy meals, to spend time with their family, to work on their hobbies, to play sports, do whatever, they're not going to be happy. Unhappy employee equals unproductive employee. They're also going to be mentally and physically tired. They're not going to be as productive when they're mentally and physically tired. We all know this. We all understand it. And so we practice work-life balance. We are no longer burning ourselves out to line other people's pockets. Get used to it.
I don't know when in America it became a thing to where nobody wants to really work. I get nobody wants to be overworked. Nobody wants to be exploited and taken advantage of. But it seems like the more time that goes by, it's becoming a thing, like nobody really wants to work at all. The pandemic really fucked shit up. And I'm not saying it wasn't trending that way anyway, but like I just remember the big thing was go from a 5-day work week to a 4-day work week. Then the pandemic happened and everybody was working from home. And then people were like, see, businesses can flourish without going to the office all the time. We can just work from home. Then people went from, why do I have to work from home when I'm really barely doing any work anyway? I shouldn't just work, period. And you know how I know it's getting really bad, like really, really bad, is NBA players not wanting to even work. These niggas get paid millions on millions and millions of dollars to play a sport for a living. And they don't even want to work. I know this isn't true for everybody in America, but I'm just saying the trend of not wanting to work is going upwards. And I'm saying that does nobody any good. And definitely not the United States of America.
For those who worked in financial aid, I have a question. Why are y'all so condescending, cold-hearted, and ruthless towards students? Like, I know it's the system of the federal financial aid office, kind of fucks up. But some of y'all are the meanest motherfuckers in that office, that y'all make students miserable to go into that office. And why? For what? What reason do you have? And the miscommunication. Because when you talk to one clerk from the financial aid office, they tell you something completely different. And then when you have the paperwork, and if you fuck up the student's paperwork, it's the student's fault. Magically. Do y'all hate y'all's jobs? Y'all are like the DMV of school. Like, even TV shows make fun of y'all. Like, how do y'all feel? Some of y'all are probably nice.
I walked out on a job today. It was one that I've been training for. But you know when the trainer is just disrespectful and rude and condescending and just super unpleasant to be around, or you ask them a question and it's just met with hostility and it's just unpleasant? And you know, today I chose to protect my peace. I chose to walk out and be like, no, I'm not doing this. I have spent too much time, energy, effort building up my boundaries to let them be disrespected. And I kind of feel as though the universe was almost testing me with this. Like, it was a really good gig. Could have been fucking phenomenal. A lot of growth, really amazing opportunities. But is that worth my peace? Absolutely not. Absolutely fucking not. So this is just a reminder to anybody and everybody. Protect your peace. Don't let the people disrespect you. And walk out if you need to. Leave. Let them know you are not the one. That's all. And no, the universe will provide. And so I know my blessings are coming, baby. I know they're coming.
That people are struggling to find employees for their businesses. And that's true. I know I can speak for my workplace. We've been struggling a lot to find good people who are willing to stick around and commit to the job. But while that's true, you get some really interesting discussions about why. See, the primary thing that people seem to be saying is that people don't want to come back to work. People aren't interested in having these jobs. And usually that's blamed on welfare. People point out how there's been a massive increase in welfare since the start of the pandemic, and now that people are making so much money from home, it stands to reason that they wouldn't want to come back to work and make less, because it's easier to just stay at home. And if you accept that argument, that seems pretty reasonable. However, you probably shouldn't accept that argument. See, the key to this is that they're pointing out that you make more money on unemployment than you do at your job. But why? Why is the government paying people more than they were making at their job? Because the number doesn't just come out of thin air. Lawmakers didn't just wave their hands or chuck a dart at a board with a bunch of little pictures stuck on it, or spin the wheel of fortune or something stupid like that. They did research, and they have entire committees built to do research. They came up with these numbers because, and this is pretty key, because that's how much money people need to survive. So if you're paying less than that, then you're not paying your employees enough to survive. And maybe your employees want to survive. So duh, nobody wants to work because you won't pay them enough. This is a pretty common thing these days. If you have these people in power who want to support their position, they take something that is true and then misrepresent the fact. Yes, it is true that people are not coming back from unemployment to go to work, but it's not because they're too lazy. Well, it's not only because they're too lazy. I'm sure there are some people out there who just don't go back to work because they don't want to. But you can't apply that to everyone everywhere just because it's convenient. When you look at the actual numbers of how much people were getting paid at their jobs compared to how much they're getting paid from unemployment, it's pretty obvious that they were not getting paid enough before, and now they are.
I absolutely hate my job. My manager is up my ass 24/7. Like, the amount of mental stress and the way this just flares up anxiety I didn't even know I had. Like, I've always been a little anxious, but it's like, it's gotten significantly worse. Like, significantly worse since I started working here. Like, I've called my mom hyperventilating so many times. I have gone to the bathroom. I have taken walks to just break down crying because I despise my job. I don't want to say I despise my job. It's really, I don't like it, but it's like my manager doesn't help. Like, she's been gunning for me since the day she got there. Didn't even introduce herself to me on her first day. Just started talking about all the things that I was doing wrong. Like, never, like, withholds praise from me all the time, but is always talking about the negative. And I try to keep, if you know me, like, I'm a very goofy person. So, like, I try to keep things light, try to see the positive, the silver lining in things. I was the only coordinator there for about 2 to 3 months, and no patient was seen out of window, no patient went without drug, no major protocol deviations or anything like that. Like, everything was kosher. She ended up, 2 new people accepted an offer over the course of me leaving for Christmas break. I come back, the first thing she says to me is, well, yeah, I have 2 new people now, so I really don't need you here if you're going to make mistakes like this. Mind you, it was a header missing on the top of an assessment that was in the correct patient chart. You don't know that, but I know that, and it would have been fixed by the time it needed to be fixed if you just would have given me a chance. I just got back. Like, there are literally things wrong with other studies that are significantly worse than things that are wrong with my studies. And granted, all the studies that are like a super hot mess were given to me. This one study that I have that I started from scratch is fine. It's literally fine. It's great. I literally called my mom crying today for like the 40th time this year, just frustrated. And I asked her if I could come home. And I told her, like, if I don't have a job by the end of April or an offer extended by the end of April, I want to go home. My whole family will be here in May because my cousin's graduating. So I was like, if this, like, can I come? And she was like, yeah, I don't want to go home. If you've been to home, you completely understand, especially to leave Houston. To go back to that is crazy. But I would quite literally rather be depressed and miserable in my room with no good food to eat, no museums, no clubs, no bars, no anything, than to deal with the shit that I deal with at this job. Like, my mental health, I cannot. And it's like, I don't have kids, so I really don't have that extra motivation. It's just like, I just have me to take care of. And it's like, I know I can go home and just pay for my car now. I'm not built for this. I'm trying to be an adult and take it to the chin, but it's like, these jobs will really stress you out. Like, I'm graying. The amount of walks I have taken to go and cry, bathroom breaks I have taken to go and cry, like, the amount of other people, like, in our department that have had to, like, talk me off the ledge, like, I can't keep living my life this way. By the time I get off work, it's not even like I'm physically exhausted, because it's not physically strenuous, but it's like I'm mentally exhausted to where it's like I can't really pay attention in class because, like, my anxiety is still going. I'm still stressed out because I'm thinking about what happened at work. Or by the time I get home late at night and I'm trying to study, it's like I can't even really study because it's just like, damn, I gotta go to work tomorrow. I gotta go to work. I gotta deal with this shit tomorrow. I have to do this. And it's just like, it's just a constant fight, and I'm tired. So please, I don't care what you do. I don't care if you work in a dental office, that's awesome. Send me those too. But I don't care if you pick up trash. I don't care if you work the corner. If your job is hiring and y'all need people, please, 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 please send me recommendations, send me links. I will send you my resume. I will send over whatever I have to do. But I can't do this anymore. I can't. Like, the only good part about my job is the patients, and I don't even see them every day. So it's like, yeah.
This is a prime example of why people don't even want to work anymore. Terrible management. Managers that manage the most are always the worst managers and the laziest managers. Those who are always on you about working, those ones are the ones that don't do anything. Why? Because they are always on your case. But they don't have time to do their own jobs the right way and well. This has been the primary reason why I leave jobs. Terrible, annoying, lazy, entitled management. This is the primary reason that I leave from one job to another, to another, to another. Since I started working years ago, this is why. If you are a good worker, a good employee, it's even worse for you. This is why I just do my job and I go home. I don't do extra stuff anymore at work. I don't go above and beyond. I just do my job and I go home. And that's it.
Okay, I don't know if anyone else feels me on this, but like, I cannot believe how lazy some people are. Like, I used to think that I never did anything, and then I realized that I'm actually like a superhero. Okay, so like, I have a job, right? I have a 9 to 5 job. I have a job that I work in, I apply to, and I go there every day and I do tasks and I work there and it's my job. I have to walk by this cemetery every day on the way home from my job, my 9 to 5, my job that I apply to and I do tasks at and I work at my job. And I look in there and like nobody's doing anything. It's like, get a job. Like, what are you doing? Like, you're literally just lying down.
A quick reminder, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and let's continue the video.
When y'all said the job market sucked and no one was hiring, I didn't believe you all until I started applying for roles myself. I have more than enough experience in customer service and in the medical field, and I've literally been trying to apply to everywhere you can think of under the sun. I don't care if it's hybrid, remote, or on-site, and I'm getting a whole bunch of denial letters. This is new for me, and typically it's easy for me to get a job. I've already done like my resume rebuilding. I've already inputted in AI to see what could be better. I've changed it, I've updated it, I reformatted, and nothing is working. I'm willing to take a pay cut. It doesn't matter. I just need income, and this is tough.
So, as an HR professional, there's a phrase I keep hearing that we have got to talk about because it makes me angry. Here's the phrase: nobody wants to work. Oh my gosh. That is the biggest bunch of bullshit that anyone is feeding you. Go look at LinkedIn today. There are thousands of people looking for a job who want to work. Here's the thing. Nobody wants to work is the start of a statement. You're just not finishing it. So here, let me help you finish it. Because the real statement goes a little something like this. Nobody wants to work for a jackass manager who pays like shit, doesn't treat people very well, and can't clearly communicate. That's correct. People don't want to work for someone like that. So if you own a business in the United States and you are struggling to get your business staffed, I really want to encourage you to take a very hard look at yourself and look at how you're running your business, because the reality is you are probably part of the problem. DM me, let's get it fixed.
Y'all want to know what's crazy? How jobs will advertise help wanted, hiring immediately, with no intention on actually hiring anybody. They'll string you along during the interview process, no matter how good of a candidate you are, and still not hire you. They'll have you do 3 fucking interviews and not hire you. They will intentionally hide the pay when it's literally just the minimum fucking wage, and then get mad when you ask for literally anything more than they're offering. And then, because the pay is not proportionate to the cost of living, you go and you take another job, the response is, nobody wants to work. I can't tell you how much nobody wants to work is such a loaded fucking statement. Like, America really isn't a real place. And older people at jobs literally expect you to work one job 40 fucking years, despite the pay being horrible, and despite your boss being a piece of shit. And they expect you to work just for the sake of working. And they expect you to come in on your days off, and if you're not working, you're not being productive. And these adults are the same people during the pandemic who were like, oh my gosh, I was so bored, I needed to come back to work. Like, bro, do you not have any fucking hobbies that don't include complaining about your spouse or your kids and drinking? Like, and I'm not even making this video because I'm bitter that I didn't get a certain job or a job didn't hire me, right? Because I've been at my job for years. But when I was looking for a second job, this is what I went through. But you don't even have to take my word for it. You can speak to friends, acquaintances, random strangers. People will tell you the same story, that they've gotten ghosted by jobs, or jobs will say, we regret to inform you, we've moved on to other candidates, but the job's still posted because they didn't hire anybody. And I made a video about why introverts shouldn't work at office jobs, but it's not just office jobs, and it's not just introverts. Some jobs have a bully culture environment, and they refuse to actually do anything about the bully. So the bullies run amok, and they have a high turnover rate. And because they have a high turnover rate, they'll say nobody wants to work. When in reality, that's so far from the truth. It's the fact that nobody wants to work here because this job is full of shit. And this is coming from somebody who actually likes their job and gets along with their coworkers. It's not you. It's the fact that these jobs are playing games with your time, energy, emotion. These jobs are...
The literal story that my mother would tell about her getting to school in the motherland, we're Haitian, is she would be like, oh, you had to cross a mountain, and then you had to cross a river, and there were snakes in the river, and I only had one shirt for school, and when I got home from school, I had to do my homework by candlelight, and then I'd have to wash my shirt in the rocks in that same river, and then let it dry overnight, so I'd be ready for school the next day, and I'd be like, what does that have to do with me? Are you going to drive me to school or not? And I could never access that point of view, access that mindset, until recently, because I realized that I actually feel the exact same way. I almost launch into the same type of speech anytime someone talks about ordering Uber Eats. You ungrateful, spoiled, soft American. Look at what this country has done to you. You know what I mean? It churns my stomach. Something about it. You paid $15 to have fries delivered when you know. Oh, get in the car.
Oh my god, nobody wants to work anymore. Everyone's so lazy. This generation doesn't want to work. Yeah, the fuck I do, but the problem is that every time I go to fill out an application, y'all want to give me a 30-minute fucking test or tell me you're going to contact me through email and then just never answer me. Like, I just applied for this custodial position at a school, right? Just a little part-time job, go there like 3-4 days a week, just clean up a little bit. Nothing too hard, nothing too fucking magical. But these motherfuckers had me sitting on their website for 45 fucking minutes filling out this application because they wanted to give me a 30-minute written test like I am applying to be a fucking student at their school. All I will be doing is mopping floors and sweeping classrooms. Why the fuck do I need to know the square root of a number or the pattern of a fucking number line? And then motherfuckers will ask for my phone number and then tell me, yeah, we'll contact you through email. Who the fuck is using their email in 2025? If you have my fucking phone number, text me about my application. Don't send me a fucking email. I already got millions of fucking emails rolling in on a daily basis. I don't have time to check that shit every day. And then you will schedule an interview. I'll have the interview. Oh yeah, we'll contact you by next Monday or something. And then you just never fucking hear back from them. They just ghost you. And then these are the same companies that want to complain, oh yeah, we can't find any hiring. Nobody wants to fucking work anymore. Maybe be a better fucking employer. You ever thought about that?
One of the things that really drives me nuts are all of the employers right now who are saying people just don't want to work anymore. Yeah, people don't want to work anymore. People don't want to prostitute their time and energy for corporations anymore. People don't want to give up all of their excitement, passion, and life in exchange to build somebody else's company for minimum pay. And we're getting to a place collectively where our soul desires something more. We came to do more than just to be a cog in the wheel. Our soul, something more than us, is calling for something different. And so people are getting laid off. People are not making ends meet with what they're doing right now. People are feeling dissatisfied. People don't want to be doing what they're doing. They'd rather actually unalive themselves than be doing what they're doing, but they don't feel like they have a way out. Before the Industrial Revolution, people had their own businesses. They were carpenters, they were shepherds, they were farmers, they were bread makers. Everybody had their little piece in society. Everybody had their little piece of the puzzle that they gave to the rest of the community. This is how communities were formed. But then when factories came around, they couldn't find enough workers for their factories. And so they went to Russia to find out how Russia created workers and came back with the public school system. So the public school system taught everybody how to be workers and to be told what to do and to conform. Everybody was doing the same things. We are not meant to do the same things. We each came with a different puzzle piece, with a different gift to give the collective. We were not meant to all learn to do the same thing. So now we have a homogenized group of workers who know how to be told what to do and are trained to ask when they need to go to the bathroom and to ask, what it is you want me to do next. And that was seen as success. So from a young age, we were trained that success looks like being told what to do and getting your work done. Ding! So as people wake up more from the spell of conditioning, which I think is happening on a collective scale, people waking up from wait, I'm just supposed to be told what to do and I'm just supposed to do it and I'm just supposed to show up and trade my time and energy every day for money and that's it. That's not what we came here to do, and actually our societies are breaking down because of it. People are breaking down because of it. So this model is no longer sustainable, and my prophecy, as more and more people start realizing they don't want to be a cog in a corporate wheel, these bigger corporations are going to lose money, they are going to lose workers, they're going to have to start shutting down a lot of their stores, and I'm talking like Walmart's, Target's, like the bigger corporations. It is actually not sustainable, and they actually won't be doing very well in the near future. But until that point, people are going to be freaking out because our soul is calling us to something different, but our mind and our conditioning is telling us that this is the way you're supposed to be. This is what success looks like, is to do it the way we've been trained. So doing your own business, becoming more entrepreneurial, finding your own soul calling and following that and believing that it's going to pay your bills, that is fucking scary. Don't even get me started about how rampant consumer debt is keeping us stuck working for corporations, and that is done on purpose. So pretty much something big is happening, and we're going to start seeing it over the next couple years. People will interpret it differently. A lot of people will interpret it as people don't want to work anymore and feeling like I must be lazy if I don't want to keep going into my 9-to-5 job. That's all story. You're not lazy, okay? You know as well as I do that when you get going on something you love, you could stay up till 2 a.m. You could not eat for hours doing it, right? You're not lazy. You're just not meant to be a cog in the wheel. And our souls are going to start crying out that this is not what I was meant for. This is not why I'm here. And you're going to start looking for other options. And because of our conditioning, we might be told there are no other options, or you're stuck between a rock and a hard place, or you can either be a cog in the wheel or be homeless. Anytime you feel like you only have 2 choices and they're both sucky choices, that is the product of conditioning. So I'm on this path as well. I feel like my soul is being called to new things. I know that there are more options than we're being given or that we see. We need to start rethinking what success looks like and using different metrics to determine what success is. It's always fun running into somebody in the forest when you're ranting. So I think some of the first steps are to start listening to your soul. Stop telling yourself you're lazy. Start noticing what you're feeling drawn towards. Start trusting your desires and start believing that there's something more than 2 options that you've been given. Either success by the standards of corporate America or failure, because that shit's not real. There are more options. Follow me for more rants in the wilderness.
She is absolutely right. We all have gifts. Each and every human has a thing that they are good at. They're really good at it. But in this world that we live in now, it is all about mass production. How much money can each employee bring in every single week, every single month, every single year, and not even use their gifts?
Over and over, I keep hearing how nobody wants to work, and this younger generation's got no motivation. I'm going to let you be honest. It's not just the younger generation anymore. It's the boomers, it's the Gen Xers, it's the millennials. All of us are being exploited. It's not that we don't want to work. We're just tired of being abused. All of us had a job at one point in time that we absolutely loved. Good environment, good people. You felt good going into work every day. And then what happened? You got burned. If COVID has done anything for this generation, it's showed everybody, no matter how hard you work, you are replaceable. The old mindset of hard work pays off, make yourself more important to the company than the machine you're working on, proved otherwise, because now they've got somebody running the same machines and doing the same thing you used to do. They got them doing it cheaper. We've all been passed over for promotions, or even better, told that you don't qualify for a promotion because, well, we can't afford to lose you. Thing that so many people leave out in the comments section is that it's not just black and white. It's not cut and dry. There are no rules to this magical chess game. If all we had to do is come in and go to work and just work, then you wouldn't hear anybody complaining now, would you? No, instead we're all walking around on eggshells knowing that any given time the company could just magically pull the rug out from underneath your feet, all while the company is demanding unwavering loyalty. And we're watching the same companies make record-breaking profits, all while everything else for us stays the same. In 1989, when The Simpsons aired, somebody was asked why it was so successful, and the response was, because it's relatable. You got a non-college educated dad working a blue-collar job. You got the stay-at-home mom. You know, they got the double 2-story house, 2 cars. It's the American dream. It's what everybody's living, right? In this economy today, Homer J would be struggling. They wouldn't have that 4-bedroom house. Grandpa definitely would be living with them, and they would probably have already had her car repoed. He'd be out there trying to Mr. Plow his way out of foreclosure. The problem that so many people are running into today is that the math ain't mathin'. In majority of cases, everything has gone up except for pay. And people are now in a position to where they just feel trapped. You no longer have careers, you have jobs. And what is a job? just above broke. I heard somebody talk the other day that said he can't believe that people are leaving and willing to leave companies for $1 or $2 raise. It's just an extra dollar. It's not life-changing money. But nobody wants to talk that we can't believe that we've gotten to the point that $2 or $3 is life-changing money. Now, I don't claim to know the answers, but I know that if your employees aren't making enough money to even buy your product, well, that might be one of the problems.
This is actually the problem with our generation. We lack discipline, we lack self-control. We want everything, we want it now. We don't want to work for anything anymore. We just want things as they are just because we see other people having it. That's not how life works. That's why so many people are on things like Ozempic, because we want fast, quick solutions. We don't want to put in the work for anything and recognize that when you're not putting in the work, you do not get the results. I am young, I am unmarried, I don't have children, I don't have responsibilities to anyone. I am able-bodied, I am not sick. Besides little mental health issues here and there, sprinkle on top of that, there's no reason I shouldn't be busting my ass and working hard. I'm in my 20s. This is the time to work the hardest that you possibly can before you enter your 30s, before life hits you fast, before you have little toddlers running around, before you have other mouths to feed. No, I'm not going anywhere this December. I'm locking in, I'm working hard, I'm getting to this bag, and I'm gonna make the kind of money, I'm gonna have the kind of accomplishments, I'm gonna have the results that I wanted out of 2024, and that's what 2025 is gonna give me. Be motherfucking strict, have discipline. When you say you're gonna do something, do it. And if you don't do it, make sure you hold yourself accountable so that you actually do it and that you get shit done. I'm 28 on Forbes 30 under 30 and have achieved these kinds of things because I'm strict as fuck. It's really strict over here. There is no reward for laziness. There is no reward for not being consistent. I have spent every single year doing Dirty December, and this year I am not going because I don't deserve it. I don't deserve a reward because I don't feel like I deserve it. I have not worked hard enough. I did not achieve the things that I wanted to achieve. Me achieving Forbes 30 under 30 is not a result of the things I worked on this year. It was a result of everything I have done before. When I was strict as fuck, when I was working hard, when I was consistent, when I was churning out the results. That's what I need to get back to. Shit requires hard work. Work hard. Let's bring back working hard. Let's bring back people actually being proud of the hard work that they've done. Let's bring back people being strict and being like, no, I'm not going to go out this weekend. No, I'm not going to go out tonight because I don't deserve it. I need to work hard. I need to earn things. Our parents' generation had to earn shit, and they were working way harder than us, and still having to earn a lot motherfucking less. We're so lucky that we can work hard and do less hard work and still earn so much. So if I feel like, damn, I really didn't work hard, and even though I've earned a lot, it's not enough. I could have done so much more. And if you have goals in this life, no, be hard on yourself. Be strict.
It is actually time to lock in, guys. If you have not locked in yet, this is the time. Accomplish your goals. Be consistent for the love of God. A project that has been on your heart for years. This is a time to make time to do it. This is the time. Seize the day.
Oh, nobody wants to work? I don't think that's true. Sure, some people don't want to work. I think the majority of us just don't want to be overworked. I have spent decades being the person who comes in early, covers shifts on my days off. I have canceled vacations that I planned months in advance for work. And what did it get me? Absolutely nothing. Why is it so hard to find a job that I can just show up, do a really freaking good job, and then go live my life for a reasonable wage? I'm a hard worker. I enjoy work. But it's not normal to not have a life outside of work. That's not healthy. And while we're at it, if you expect someone to work overnight, you need to pay them accordingly. There have been medical studies that shift work wreaks havoc on your body. No one's doing that for $16 an hour. I'm mind blown. I've been scrolling job postings the last couple hours, and the requirements people are asking for are insane for something that won't even cover rent in the city I'm looking in.
Nobody wants to work. Ugh, nobody wants to work. Ugh, nobody wants to work. Oh my God. If I hear that nobody wants to work one more time, I'm going to lose my mind. Whenever I hear someone say nobody wants to work anymore, I am also hearing someone who is fully out of touch with the economy as it is, because one, numbers exist, and we know that in fact we have a historically low unemployment rate right now. So people do want to work, and in fact they are working. So that alone should be enough, but of course it is not. Oh, why am I seeing help wanted signs at the grocery store? Why are there not enough people at Taco Bell to serve me? Like, no, the line at Starbucks is so long. Great observation, Ethel. Let me tell you what the issue is here. The issue is here that low-paying jobs pay too little. They literally pay too little to live on. So if you're working even 40 hours a week, which you are definitely not guaranteed and probably will not get, you are going to be still falling short of what is necessary. So the idea is not that like everybody, can't live a luxury life. It's like literally people just cannot pay to survive on jobs. So there's that. But this other little piece, well, you love to talk about it. You love it. You love to talk about unemployment. You love to talk about how people on unemployment make so much more and so much easier. So they just sit around and get unemployment instead of working. Have you ever been on unemployment? Do you know how unemployment works? The way they calculate how much money you get on unemployment is they literally take how much money you were making before, and then they pay you less. Really the only situation when someone is working, would be working in service and they would be getting more on unemployment is if they maybe had like a tech job, they got laid off, and then the only job they could get was a service job. Maybe. But most of the time, no. Most people do not make very much money on unemployment, and it's designed that way. Like, that's the point. You cannot just get rich on unemployment. It doesn't work that way. The only reason anybody would ever maybe prefer unemployment to a low-wage job, other than not wanting to put their health and safety at risk by going into work during still a pandemic, is that it's reliable. Remember when I said you probably won't get 40 hours a week? You probably won't. And you never know when your shift is going to go away. You don't know how much money you're going to make week to week in most service jobs. At least with unemployment, you get the same amount, right? So maybe the issue is that people don't want to work, not get paid enough to live, and then still be demonized by everybody they serve, and then also be told they are lazy and they should work more. People want to work. They do work. The problem is they don't get paid enough. We don't have good enough benefits, and unions have been gutted in this country. That's the issue.
I saw this video this morning of these people being pissed that this girl who her parents had paid for her to go to pharmacy school. I don't know if she was a pharmacist or she had just her parents had paid her to go to school. She either quit school or quit being a pharmacist and decided to be a content creator. And people were like, oh my God, the level of privilege, can't believe you would do that. Go be a pharmacist and you could be a content creator too or whatever. The thing is, you can make more money not ever going to school, not ever paying any money for an education, and just being on the internet than you could going to pharmacy school for 3 years on top of your undergrad for 4 years, going to school for 7 years to be a pharmacist, and you could still make more money being online. So I don't knock her. People who are mad that somebody would do that, it's just because it's fuck, what do you mean I paid to go to school for 7 years and these other people are making more money? And I'm like, yeah, bitch, I'm pissed too, but can't beat them, join them. I mean, yeah, I'd rather be a content creator than be a pharmacist too. And if I could make more money, hell fucking yeah. So think about that.
I'm on break right now. I just got another bullshit minimum wage job. I moved to LA and I needed a little, cash, whatever. Even though I'm an artist, this is temporary. You will see me on the screen soon. And my boss took me aside a couple days ago for a conversation in which he waited to the very last minute of my shift. I'm about to go home and he took me aside, made me stay an extra 15 minutes so we could talk, which was basically just him absolutely fucking me in the ass with sandpaper, just completely lying, being super condescending, talking over me. He was damn near in tears, talking about I'm personally disrespecting him, and then he was also in his business and his kids, and it was just very strange. He was trying to correlate the lack of sales this month from hiring me, but I've only been working here a month. And that's not how sales work. Anyway, it was just ridiculous. But at the end of the conversation, he ends it with, give me one good reason. This is our 6th conversation, Shay. I can't even say if there's going to be another warning. This is the first time I've talked to him, so this is not our 6th conversation. This isn't even our 2nd. What are you talking about? But anyway, so give me one good reason why I shouldn't fire you. And I was like, buddy, I'm sorry you feel offended, but I'm not gonna like sit here and beg you for this minimum wage job. I mean, I think these niggas are very confused. I don't work here because I just love making fucking lattes. I'll get another job. I'm not gonna sit here and beg you for the disrespect, you know? And I basically said a more business-like version of that, where I was just like, I'm gonna keep doing the same good work I've been doing. So if you wanna let me go, I guess that's your decision. And I think that, you know, since then he's been kind of, I think he's just avoiding talking to me. And I've seen the other co-owner a lot more, because I don't think he realized, you know, that I was gonna have that reaction. I don't think these people realize, you know, he's not even a boomer, but he has this boomer fucking mindset. It's so annoying. They're so archaic in the way that they run everything, but also their mindset around working. Like, we don't care, dude. I don't care. I'm doing this so I can make money and do certain things and for silly little things like paying bills and like silly shit like that. I don't actually give a fuck. Of course, I'm not trying to be a detriment to your business. You know, I want it to succeed, but I don't give a fuck. And when you talk to me like that, I'm surely not gonna like relax. I'm certainly not gonna start being more motivated now. They got it twisted, man. They have me fucked up.
Remember when Kim Kardashian had the nerve to say that people don't want to work these days? You know what? She's absolutely right. We don't want to work these days, but it's not because of why she thinks. It's not because we're lazy. It's because we don't get paid enough. That's why we don't want to work. People don't make enough money to make rent. People are out here working 2-3 jobs just to survive out here. Are you kidding me? We don't want to work. Oh, like, get out of here. Oh my goodness, the audacity and the privilege she comes from. Girl, can't everybody... Never mind. I'm not going to be mean on these streets. I'm not. Y'all know what I'm going to say. You know what I'm finna say. We all can't do it that way. Anyways, where's Ray J at when you need him? People can't afford to do anything these days. The inflation is up. Okay, groceries is high, sky high. Okay, I remember my mom telling me back in the day that she could get like a burger or something for 5 cents. Okay, and maybe like a stick of gum for like 5 cents. Okay, a burger these days is $5-10 easily, maybe even more, depending on where you go. Like, it's not that we don't want to work. We just need more money. If these employers just start paying us more, maybe we want to work more. Because I know when I used to work, I never went above and beyond for anybody. I worked the bare minimum because I knew we are not even important to that job. They will get rid of us in a snap, okay? They don't care about you. As long as they can use you and pay you the least amount, then you're beneficial towards them. But as soon as you stop, they're going to let you go. They don't care about us. So, yeah, Kim, we don't want to work. Not for this pay.
Just wanted to hop on here. If this landed on your For You page, just want to say that your corporate job is not worth it if it's getting to the point where you're so mentally drained that you cannot do anything after work. Your boss treats you like shit. He constantly threatens to fire you when you're one of the hardest workers, and it's just a toxic environment overall. Then quit. I actually just quit my first corporate job yesterday, and I already have 3 interviews lined up. So what's meant to be will be. No reason to be staying in a company where they treat you like shit. That's on period. I love you guys. Genuinely hope that everyone's doing good mentally. I know it's a tough time for everyone, but keep your head up and God got you.
Yeah, I don't want to say it. I'll say it. I don't want to work. So fucking sue me. If I never had to get another job again, I'd be happy as fuck. I want to be a cute little princess that never has to work a day in her life and always has her hair and nails done and goes on vacations and shopping and shit. But I can't have none of that if I don't work. Or get out there and do something strange for some change, which I mean, shit, I'm kind of contemplating that at this point. Like, I don't like this shit. I don't like this work shit. I don't like having to get up every single day at the ass crack of dawn to go and fake nice to people for 8 fucking hours straight just to go home and go to sleep and get up and do it all over again for the next, 40 fucking years? I want to explore the world.
I want to retire. I wanted to retire 4 years ago. I'm so sick and tired of working. I don't want a job. I don't want to work. It's like I'm working for nothing because the money I make ain't gonna help me with nothing. I can't get an apartment. I can't do nothing I want to do. So why the hell am I still working? Why am I working if I cannot enjoy the fruits of my labor? Don't worry, I'm gonna move to Cambodia. I'm gonna sell some fish, and life gonna be good.
This is another reason why a lot of people don't want to work. They feel as if all that work, and for what? Just to survive, not to thrive? Not anything extra? So I went through all of this, and then I have to repeat it tomorrow. And people can't get ahead. That is another reason why people don't want to work. And I understand that. I totally understand that. I appreciate you guys watching the video today. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.